Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone? How's the practice?
It's paid off. I feel great.
Okay, that's good. Good news. All
I
right,
mean, I
fantastic.
just
So what's the differences?
um well, I guess I'll share since I'm already talking. I've always been, athletic. I've always done athletic stuff. I love skiing. I really loved working out, and Happy Body was just, powerlifting didn't really like go with skiing that well because I was too big and bulky. And so Happy Body really like made that good. I also love going to dance music festivals, and I just got back from 3 days,
What kind of
and
dance?
I I'm just able to go, forever, and super flexible, and yeah, I just felt great. I didn't, I did the like the body weight version A every day, so I didn't have weights with me, which was fine. But yeah, no, it was the first time that I've been to one since I started Happy Body, so I was just happy the whole time.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of dance?
It was like psychedelic bass music. DJ's name is Tipper. I don't know if that rings a bell, but it was at in Alabama at the Orion. It's a really, really beautiful kind of like Coliseum-esque stadium. So yeah, a lot of electronic, just do continuous beats, stuff like that.
So did
Um,
people dance there?
yeah, I mean a lot of it was we sat for a while. For part of it, a lot of it was more like just really cool visuals and slow. But then there were a lot of after parties that I went to that were more upbeat and fast, that were like open dance floor. So
I see. So you could think about, what dance is about, right? It's about skills.
mhm.
Dance is about skills. Yeah, so it's a lot of skills and memory. So like when the brain needs to be really good, and then flexibility. You cannot really dance rumba if your hips are not flexible.
Hmm.
Not going to happen, right? So yeah, you will be moving, but only the calves, but not really the hips. You can see how a rocking track is the important here exercise to develop this flexibility. So let me see if there's somebody else. So any anything that we actually do or we want to do will end up with certain flexibility needed for it, certain strength, and um, and the speed. It's very interesting in dance because some dances are really fast, some are very slow and smooth. But for men, it's very interesting because there is a lot of skills involved in dances, and every dance will have uh, the signs of where to move, how to move, and when to move, and all of it needs to be remembered. So I didn't know at all that would be the case for me until I was, 65 around when we decided to go and dance and learn to dance actually, because before that we were not dancing. But very interesting skill of dancing that it exists. Most people really do not dance; they move, right? So they kind of move, but they don't follow any skills. So very interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I definitely, most people at these types of festivals, I would say, are just moving and grooving. And it's weird, but it's fun because we all don't care. And my wife and I took a choreographed lesson for our first dance for our wedding. And that was really, really fun. And I was like, wow, this is also really hard. And so I've wanted to, I have friends that are into, what is it? Tango, not tango. Cynthia, what do Tony and Steph dance? Salsa. Yeah, salsa. So I took a few salsa lessons, and that was really fun. Whenever I visit them in Colorado, we go. And I mean, I feel like that's a really good one that I want to get into because it's applicable to so many different styles. I mean, once you learn how to move in that, the patterns and stuff, it's a lot of the same beat structure across different genres of music. So yeah, I just need to find the time in my schedule. But
Yeah,
it's
we
fun.
go to
Um,
Arthur Murray studio in Redwood City, and we found really a great teacher. And yeah, we pursue of learning, and I think that the happy body and dance goes together very well.
mhm, I
And
agree.
so dance is very interesting because you dance with another person, and it's not like in the happy body you are on your own. But when you dance, you are with another human being. And it's a really, I think, all the studios, dance studios, places where people could dance, is just a really great opportunity for people who feel lonely or alone to go and be around other people. I find really dancing studio very, uh, very, I would say, embracing and kind and helpful in any way. I never feel any judgment. Microprogression really works very well there. I guess maybe it depends how you teach because you can teach badly, right? But the place that we go uh, really adapts to the place of the starting point, like the happy body, tries to find where is the starting point and works from there. So that's kind of very similar method of teaching and developing. So uh, Crystal, you were not here, but Nathan was talking about how the happy body helps him with skiing and dancing and and he's happy. He said so.
My calves really hurt though. I'd say that. My calves are on fire.
Oh
I don't think
yeah,
I touched them enough.
there's a lot of uh,
Yeah.
right related.
Um, Also, when I was there, my cousin um had a TENS unit that I used for the. I mean, I feel like I've used them before, but I feel like my right spinal erector was a little tight. I have like a weird. I have a ski injury on my basically on my butt bone from falling on a rail, and it's made me sit a little weird. And sometimes when I travel a little too long without stretching, my hips get twisted. And anyway, so in the TENS unit, just made it go away. Just like I wore it for like 20 minutes. I sat in like a deep squat, did a lot of like good stretches. Um, and so I'm curious if you have any experience with a tennis unit. It's only like $40 too, so I think I might get one.
Well,
The TENS unit. What is
Mhm.
that?
It's like a little electroshock therapy thing.
ultrasound is good. Usually it's done by
Professional.
doctors. They really like that. They also use um, manipulation or fascia and muscles and tendencies with massage. So it's whatever helps. The best way is to cool it down. Means it is inflamed because it's bruised or overused, so it's hot. So the best shot to do with things like that is to cool it down. So anything that is hot, you want to cool down. So the thing that thinking about the heat and inflammation in the body system. So that is also heat. Anything that creates heat needs to be cooled, right? So ice is good. Meditation is good to come down, to lower everything down. But ice and cold is one of the most important elements at that point. The heating, the mind, how the mind heats, is the mind is in the emergency mode, when the mind is ruminating and rolls. So that also is creating heating inside the brain. So that is why it's important to calm down, cool down, and slower down everything. Every exercise is inflammatory. As soon as you move, the body heats up, and then it just depends how much you want to continue something to heat up. That's why in the happy body you have inhale, you do the exercise when you don't breathe. That breaks the patterns of movement and keep moving. So in the happy body, you move and then you stop, and then you move again, and that helps to cool down the system and not to create too much heat. The more you exercise, the more heat is going to be in the body, the more inflammation. And after strength training, about 1 hour of strength training, the body is inflamed for about 30 minutes and cools down very quickly. But after 2 hours of running, it can be 6 hours. The body can be 6 hours inflamed. Also, inflammation, when we keep exercises, when people keep exercising, they create this heat in the body system. And that heat creates this inflammatory chemicals in the heart. And that leads to the scarring of the heart. The miniature scars can happen with like elite marathon running people that create that. And that when there's a lot of that, that could cause arrhythmia and then can end up with death. Like the person that the book on running was written on the base of I forgot his name, but he was 58 when he experienced all of it while running in Mexico, I think bare feet, and collapsed there and died at 58. So when we strain body, the body can break, and there, the more we do certain things, the more possibility for the break. Then there is a illness, not illness, but the condition that when marathons runner run and they want to keep running, but they don't have any energy left, that the blood can be moved from colon to the muscles that run, like the quadriceps. And that when that happens, that the part of the colon dies, and that situation ends up with going to the hospital and cutting the piece of the colon. So we can override the safety mechanism of the body in extreme cases. So, not only, the marathon, the exhausting the body system ends up in the problem. Also, bad injuries happen when we attack records and we use really heavy weights when the discs pop. And so the other side is also there. All right, so something about the hitting, the skills, the flexibility that triggered my talk about it. Any other insights about training, practicing the happy body, 30 minutes training, daily routine? Anything that you need help with, keep practicing. What is it that is this challenging still? You are now 8 months into the 1 year. So how is it? How is it working? Where we need more help or work on it?
I have something. A few months ago, I started training for strength training. I was using the Happy Body as a recovery system, but now that we've done all the exercises, I want to switch that to do the Happy Body like A, B, or C, and then go to the other trainer for more like recovery. Like maybe, I don't know if you know like what foam rolling does. I mean, like how foam rolling goes with recovery from um maybe relates to the happy body, like getting my body happier if I have tight places, if that helps. Like I'm trying to work with him because I still have more time left, but the strength training he was doing with me was just too hard, so I need to change what I'm doing with him.
Yeah, nothing is too hard, really. It's not supposed to be too hard.
Yeah.
Right? Writing can be too hard, math can be too hard, gymnastics can be too hard, but making money can be too hard, but it doesn't have to be too hard. So the opposite is true too, that everything can be fun and enjoyable. So how you going to set it up is important. So it's fun, right? So it's not something that the strength training is hard. that is
Well, the way he was doing it
exactly
was not making my body happy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I need to change what we're doing. So I want to use the happy body for strength, but then I have time with him. So how to use time with him that would go with the happy body. Does that make
Well,
sense?
how much time you have with him? Who is who, and how did it happen that you started? What do you want from him?
Because I wanted to get stronger, but it wasn't working like I wanted. So I need to change my goals with him. And I'm getting ready to go to Italy. So I was thinking I'd do more of the happy body to get ready to go to Italy. But I want to learn how to do stairs better to go see things there. So I'm using more of the happy body to get ready for that now. But I have this time with him. Like, is there something that he can help with?
Why do you have this time with him?
Because I started because I wanted to get stronger and I signed up for 6 months. So I'm like, do I stay with him? Like, is there something helpful I can aim to go with him, or just maybe just call it quits with him?
So if you bought like 100 pounds of potatoes and they are not good anymore, so you would keep eating them?
I know I see what you're saying. I'm just
Some
wondering,
cost fallacy.
can I
It's
make it
tough.
work?
Right?
Yeah. What did you say, Nathan?
No, could you pause?
you know,
Uh,
put it on pause for
It's,
some time and maybe go back later once you're stronger. Or
Yeah.
just quit, I guess.
yeah, it's the sunk cost fallacy. I mean, you've already spent time and money on it, so you feel committed to it. But does your future time, money, and energy deserve to be put in the wrong place just because your past time, money, and energy has already been spent there? Happens to me all the time. I'm just
Mhm.
something to ponder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Nathan and
Of course.
Anita.
Is it in the gym?
Yes.
So maybe you can sell it for half of the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your your sessions. Interesting because it triggered my memory about a poem from a different perspective, but but I don't remember the title of it. But hopefully, I will find maybe somebody will talk about something.
I can pause it for only 3 months, I think. So I could do that.
Okay.
Or sell it to someone, but they have their I don't see how to do I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. If I help you.
What book is that in?
Very interesting poem I wrote. Yeah, I wrote this poem to resist the cycle of doing something that is not good for the society. That's the example of a poem to stop somewhere, even though you have losses. But if something is not good, you're not supposed to really ethically to pass it on somebody else. That's the whole idea. If I help you, the trainer went to the treadmill, ran his finger on the rail, and said, "It's all covered in dust." Stuart folded his arms and said, "Each time I buy a new machine, I promise myself I will use it, but after a few days, I find myself talking about using it tomorrow until my whole family knows that I trick myself again. These days, we don't talk so much, and our lips shrink more with every new machine." Stuart opened his arms and said, "I don't know what to do anymore. The more machines I have in my basement, the less often I want to come down." The trainer folded his arms and said, "You will be okay. Are you sure? It's been like this for 20 years. I'm sure because the past is not interesting. First, let's remove all those machines. Do you want me to call the scrap metal yard so they can pick them up? I spent thousands on them. Can you help me to sell them?" "Sorry," the trainer said, "I can't. If I help you do that, it will never end."
Mm. Yeah. Good poem. Good message. So.
Yeah, I say, we call it swallow the bullet, right? So take it, take it with losses and start doing something that is good and that is helpful, that is nurturing and good, and it has the right care that you can progress and without major problems. Like it's too hard is, yeah, it's a very simple way of saying that a person is overtrained.
Oh yeah,
That's what
definitely.
yeah, it's, people move thousands of pounds and they never would say that it's too hard.
Yes, I
I
see.
have an idea. Pause it, and then what is it? An hour a week?
It's 2 half-hour sessions. So
Okay.
it's an hour a week.
So pause it and set aside the exact amount of time every single week towards something that brings you joy or makes more money than what you would spend. And by the end of the 3 months, cancel it guilt free, and now you're making more money than you were before. That's what I would do. Or if not, then I mean, just it's not always about the money, but if part of it is you feel like you spent the money, that could help.
I
Yeah,
have the idea that you hire him, so he's supposed to serve you. So you have to understand that he's not the master of what you are signing. You're signing with somebody that you are hiring somebody. That's what you are doing. So you're the master of decisions. Like he is not. So
I see that.
what you
I
can
see.
do is that I do the happy body, and there is this B level, and I would like you to help me to do this B level so I don't overtrain, so it's good for me. So I want you to watch me and learn about this. So that's how you can do it. You can engage him in the program, in the system, and help you to do the B version. And so he would need to get engaged with A and C and so on. When I mentor people with certain way, right? And that certain way also requires from me reading a lot of books, meeting people, and so on, so on. So he needs to be engaged, and he is not there to decide. You're there to decide. I have to really know that you are there to decide. You hire him, you want something, and something you want certain way. And that's it. You can explore that. A lot of people I know that ask trainers with the happy body to help them, to watch them, to help them with the posture, the movement, corrections, and so on. And then they had to adapt to that.
Yeah, Aniela gave me that advice too.
Yeah,
And I've thought about it, so that really would really be helpful.
If he cannot adapt to that, then go to the manager and tell the manager that you want something and he cannot adapt. Can you find me another one?
Yeah.
That's it. You have the open question, open thing, help me to find another trainer who would be really good for me, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not the end that you paid money and, it's not the end of the story. We live among people, so the place like that also cares for people, and you have to think that they are willing to help you because that's what they are for.
Yeah, I see that. Well, thank you for listening and giving me good ideas, everyone.
Anyone else wants to add something?
I have a question, and this may have been addressed because I've been away for the summer, so I have not had a chance to catch up on classes. I'm hearing a lot from friends and others about stretching and loosening fascia as opposed to stretching and loosening muscle. And Jersey, I'm just wondering if you can give us a sense of how to think about that as we're doing the happy body movements, if there's any usefulness in thinking about it. I mean, it sounds like it's a different set of fine kind of tendons, I guess, or something that's a little different that kind of overlays muscles. But I don't know if it's kind of just a trendy idea or whether there's something there that it's helpful for us to think about.
Well, it's different way of saying about the same thing.
Okay.
So fascia is this connective tissue that holds everything. It's really tough, tight, and we really don't really stretch that. We stretch the muscle, and when we stretch the muscle to the point of stretching ligaments or tendons, that is really bad news because once you stretch the legs to the really, let's say, 170 degrees, and your joints are really aligned with that. And in order to stretch more, you need to stretch all the ligaments, the white tissues, a lot of fascia too, to stretch to be 180 degrees. And dancers, like ballet dancers, want that, and gymnasts. But if your genetics is limited and you can stretch beyond that you will be in a lot of pain. As soon as you go into the stretching white tissues in the body system, a lot of pain. So that's why the happy body stays in the natural movements and avoids extremes. And I have a lot of clients that they are yoga teachers, and they are in pain. They come try to find a balance. Also dancers and those that, the flexibility taekwondo guys, that they have a lot of flexibility issues and necessity for that kind of stretch. The understanding is that genetically, our structure is a little bit different. Some people are locked in like the joints, the hip joints, open to the certain degree, and that mobility is obstructed. So there is no more stretching of the muscle, that you can stretch the muscle. So what now? The bone has to go out of the joint in order to move. And that's what the old ligaments are holding, and fascia holding the whole thing. And it's not a good idea to do that. And it doesn't matter whether you are ballet dancer or the taekwondo fighter or yoga. Beyond that, there is only pain, and a lot of pain. And nobody wins that game. So flexibility is something that it's not easy to have, right? Because it's connected to the mind and soft brain, and how to care for the body in a micro-progressive way, and very gently, and on a daily basis for a long time. So this sounds like you said, hey, we have 3 months here, we'll stretch fascia and you will be flexible. Okay, well, really? How many people do you know that they are flexible in the world? Not many. Well, there is a reason for it, right? And how many people will have to say have money? Not many. There is a reason for it. Yeah, that requires certain practice, certain consistency, and certain micro progression way of adapting to the growth and accumulation. Flexibility is one of those, and it's the strength too. It's not easy to be strong, and it's not easy to be flexible. It's really hard, and it's not easy to make money, or to accumulate money, to grow money. That money grows on its own, right? It's not easy. So it's a hard choice. Hey, hard choices, right? Is life. Why is it? Because it just takes effort, and consistency and micro progression and facilitate the growth. So you cannot just do things like you go to a trainer. Oh, I will stretch your fascia and things and so on. All right, where is it going? Right? What's the end game of that doing? What is that purpose? What are the results? So I mean, results on a in a long run. You can do this, like I said, this stretches for 10 years and nothing will happen.
Jersey, I have a question. When you're stretching your muscle, aren't you, fascia also would stretch, right?
No, because fascia is really tight things that holds the body bones and everything together. It's a very strong, powerful tissue. It's not so soft, and muscle are soft, really. The fascia is not really soft. It's tight, holding the whole body. So when you move the neck, when you get inside there, you can touch the fascia beyond the muscle, behind the muscle. You just feel that, and you can press on it. You will have some pain there. Then where the whole thing is held that way. All the muscles for that to move us, to move certain directions and so on. And usually we are limited not by fascia, we're limited by tight muscles and some tendencies that they are shortened or tight. And then mobility can be limited by arthritis, by the joints degeneration. So that mobility can be affected by illness of the joints. So think about become flexible, and don't think about whether you need to stretch muscle or fascia or anything else, right? So flexibility should be the focus and not methods to use. Are you getting more flexible by doing certain things? Good, you're doing good thing. Are you getting stronger because doing certain things? Okay, where is it? How many months you spend? What is the result of it? What are the results of the progress? Where's the progress? So most people never talk about the progress. They talk methods, ideas, like fascia, to stretch fascia, for what? Right? And are we getting flexible really there? In what way? Are we bending more down, or in what time? Because the body also, the more you stretch it, the more in pain is going to be, and the tighter is going to be. It's not so simple that the more you stretch, the more flexible you're going to be. No. So if you stretch too much, then you will have more pain next day. And that is why people never really achieve anything, because they attack it and they want faster results. And the micro-progressive system is affected. So when we want faster, we'll never get it. So the body has its own time of healing and flexibility, micro-progression. All of it has to be in the right places in order to create progress of something. If you want faster, you have to violate the system. So how would you violate? You go to Las Vegas, you take $100, you lost it. You come home and you say, you take $1,000, you go back and you want to take it back. And you lose it again, because it's a violation of the whole system. You want to get back faster that it can be done. And of course, after 1,000, you get 10,000, and then you sell the house and you go to Vegas and you lose your house. And that is why we are not flexible. And flexibility, like in the happy body, the happy body is the end game. Focus is on standards and achieve those standards. And how good you are, that's how you achieve them. And how good you are in the method and achieving this and then practicing it. The end game is how you get better, in what way, how you measure them. So it's not about talking about, it's really doing it. So, okay, if somebody says fascia, stretch the fascia, okay, how will I get flexibility, more flexible? When? After 2 months or 3 months? What should I do? Should I do every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, 7 times a week? What's going on? What is my practice? You're not going to go to the therapist who are going some fascia manipulation and you expect that you are going to be more flexible over time. That would be insanity. So if you want to achieve anything in life, right, you have to engage yourself in practice on a daily basis, because that will decide eventually about how you are in life. And that is the only way actually to change, because we are the result of the whole past. The result right now is whatever we've done, however we live the life, we are that way. So if you see somebody flexible, then you ask, hey, you are so flexible. How did it happen? And the person will tell you. So if you talk to a person that is doing the fascia stretches, but is not flexible, then what's going on here? It's like, talking to a therapist that is unhappy, and you come and you want to find happiness with that therapist who is not happy. We are really good in talk. Well, in the talk, we can do anything. It's like addicts, are really great in helping everyone. When you ask addict, hey, would you help me? Sure. Do you have time? Yeah, I have time. But the next day, the addict will not remember anything. So, to really change, especially for better, for worse, it's an easy choice, right? But for better, it's a masterpiece. And we know that when we go through life, we don't change for better. Yes? We change for worse. Right? We get tighter, we get weaker, we get slower, we get all of those things that are about how we are in life, how we change. So our nature is not really there to help us to get better. Actually, it's there to help to get worse. So now you have this, and how you're going to now live your life that in 2 years you will have a different perspective It's like we wrote in that you have a new past, a better past. So it means that you will be in different place, right? Does it help with the fascia? I always, kind of digress sometimes to go to different places to explain certain things. So, but sometimes you just need to really feel it, I guess, to go that way.
I just want to chime in because I love when you go off like that because the answer is obviously never really straightforward. And I wanted to share something from this weekend. We were in the hotel room after one of the days, and somebody was saying, my wife's like, "Oh, I could really use a pedicure." And then my cousin, this guy, was like, "Never gotten one. And if I did, I don't think I would keep my toes clean after." And I was like, "Oh, well, you go and you see how they do it. And then eventually, you don't have to get a pedicure every week, but it's really nice. You should do it." He's like, "Yeah, but what would make me want to keep my toes clean?" And I thought about it for a second, and I ended up buying them the Happy Body book on Amazon. And I was like, the answer is in here somewhere. You have to want to be better in all aspects of life, right? And it'll bleed into all types of self-care, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Um, so I just thought that was kind of funny. And then I remember a month or two ago, I asked you about my flexibility, and I was getting really frustrated. And I think I also mentioned I tweaked my back 2 weeks ago. Squatting 40 pounds like blows my mind to tell myself that. Um, and I was just doing too much. So I've just done like 2 weeks straight of Happy Body A, and I am now, everything got loose again. I can like go way past my toes. Like I can get like my toes to like past my wrist, just in a front bend. So yeah, it was really just learning my own limits and listening to them and not trying to push too hard. So
I thought about the book really when you talk. The Wisdom of No Escape is a Buddhist book about the set of things that you are doing, and the wisdom is to do it, keep doing that way in order to progress. Like doing the Happy Body is the wisdom of no escape. It is because you need to do it, and in order to you have to find the right way of doing, like in this flexibility and squatting with 40 pounds, right? And hurting yourself. Yeah, and there is a wisdom, and then there is a embracement of that logic that help us to not to be hostile against ourselves and against what we do. So that's important element of achieving anything. It's like you want to achieve something, and that achievement, like of the Happy Body, which is lifestyle medicine really, and really the purpose of it is to live a long and good life, right? So good life. The purpose of philosophy is to live a good life. That's it. That's it. And so we talk a lot about that, right? And we have certain ideas and things and so on. But when our life is not good, we don't see it as the things that brought us there, because we are victims of something else. We think that we became that way because the government is that way, or whatever it is, right? Because we are poor, or we have color skin different, or whatever. We are immigrants. There are always reasons why we become, and we don't like what we are, and we explain usually it by something outside of us. So we never really take charge of our life. the first step you have to do it is you need to accept the fact that you became what you are today because of everything what you've done in the past and what happened to you. The past created you. And if you accept that, then you have a chance for becoming the one that takes the action toward the practice that can deliver the better life over time. And that's why we created a happy body. You begin with there. Where else would you go that is created with that way? Bikram yoga is good too. I really like how he created Bikram the yoga really that way, because he became responsible for progress. He wanted progress. He wanted to deliver change over time. He understood the hard choices. He understood that it takes time, takes years to develop the flexibility. So he understood that. That's why he created 24 postures and practice them over and over. And then after a while, you learn to practice them the way that if you do too much a little bit, you're too sore next day, not good. So you learn how much to put, how much. And, it can be change between touching your knees and touching your ground. It can be 2 years, but change from touching the ground and putting the palm on the ground, it can be another 3 years. But these are the years. And really masters of life and progress, they talk years and at least 5, 10. If somebody talks to you without that kind of responsibility, you know that you don't have really a master in front of your eyes. So just don't talk, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time if somebody's talking to you that you can become rich in 3 weeks or half a year or 1 year. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. And that maybe could happen, but become flexible and stronger when you are 50 years old. Hello, that is you're working against nature already. And the nature is making you weaker. And the whole our system is designed that way. It's designed to become weaker. We are aging and become weaker. And you can see how trees go through life too. How bark is beautiful at certain point and fresh and strong. The tree is really beautiful and strong. And then it ages and goes into 100 years old and 200. And you used to have this oak 300 years old, and we did everything to save it. But at certain point, beetles got into it and chopped that that tree in front of our eyes. The whole past was coming out of it. It was very sad. But the happy body was created as a weapon. It's a weapon to fight the aging. As a weapon, that's why I'm joking sometimes and call it 357. Because, it's the 3 hours and 5 meals and 7 days a week. Magnum 357, right? Yes or not? No? There's a Magnum 357. So it's actually the numbers are really funny. I was always a mathematician, so numbers for me, I see numbers and connect the numbers. So when I look at the Magnum 357, It's a 357. I know these numbers from somewhere, right? 3 hours in the happy body, 5 meals, 7 times a week. Magnum 357. So in a way, the happy body is a weapon. Is a really weapon. And you have to fight something that is so destructive as aging. I mean, that force is a very powerful force and wants to crush you, to age you. You have to fight it. Not just, if you just live the life and wait, well, you know what happens. If you fight it, that you can change the quality of your life, not to lose it. You can lose it in 30 years instead of now. But it's a fight, really. It's not really, hard choice is always a fight. All right, are you ready? Yeah, okay. Well, what's the word now? It would be interesting, guys. What kind of words are you going to come out with? Melanie, what is the word for today?
Joy.
Oh, that's good. Nathan, do you have a word?
Yeah, I have many words. I'll go with embodiment.
Okay. Krista.
Ease. Not pushing too hard.
Okay, that's the microprogression, right? Anita.
Choice.
Choice. Very good. And I have progress.
Mm. Bye.
Guys,
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you.
Have a good week.
Thanks, Jyoti.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.